Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're taking a look at how to fit a switch so you can open your rear tailgate. We've got Ames here from Micro Kampers and Friends, and he's going to be doing it and showing you how simple it is. It's such a great modification. Apparently it's easy to do, so it's one worthwhile having a go at yourselves. So without further ado, let's take a look at this.
Hello everybody, I'm Simon from Micro Kampers and Friends group. This is my 2018 Peugeot Partner TP Outdoor. It's also the same as the Berlingo, and also the same as the Vauxhall Combi from 2018 onwards, I think it was. This is a modification so you can open the tailgate and also the opening window if you've got one fitted from inside. They're an electronic lock, so you can't actually put any form of manual cable on this, so you need to install a couple of momentary push button switches inside to interrupt the power supply to release the electronic lock for both the opening window if you've got one and the tailgate as well. It's a very easy job to do. In fact, the hardest part of the job is removing said back panel. You will break these clips. We've broken 6 taking this off this morning. So before you start this job, buy some off eBay. The pence, you get a pack of 20 for £2 or £3 off eBay. And then the switches themselves are really inexpensive. It's just a simple momentary push switch. I've made these up, and because it doesn't draw a lot of power, this is just twin core speaker cable. That's all you need to do, because there's no actual power going to be going through this cable. All you're doing is creating a short circuit to open the latch. So very, very thin cables needed indeed. If you've got belt wire, that'll do the same job, but I just happen to have lots and lots of speaker wire, so I've used that, made the switches up ready, left quite a long tail on these, and I'll just cut them to length. So all you need besides that to do the job, little battery drill, and most importantly, step drill bits. You need to drill 2 6mm holes in the top of this panel, this plastic panel, to install the switches into. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mount the switches, one here and then another one on this side, and then wire them up to the vehicle. All told, with everything, you should be able to get this done, if you're fairly handy, within about an hour. It certainly shouldn't take you longer than an hour to do. So the hardest thing is getting the back panel off and then getting it back on again. I suggest when you're trying to put the back panel, pull the back panel off and put it back on again, you get somebody just to give you a bit of a lift. It's not heavy, it's just cumbersome to get it back in place. So what we'll do next is we'll prepare the back panel by drilling the holes. So I'm going to get all my tools set up for that, and we'll come back in a minute or two. So this is a step drill bit. I bought a kit last year from good old Aldi, set of 3. I think they were $5.99 for a set of 3. And when you've got a micro camper like this, it's so useful to have these drill bits, these step drill bits, because they will drill very nice, neat holes. To find out what size you need, this is the securing ring from the back of the switch. Just drop it over the step drill bit, and it shows you how far you need to drill down to. So that's that section there, so you know when to stop and not take it too far. If you do drill the hole too big, all would not be lost. Maybe you just need to find a washer to bridge that extra gap that you've got, but do it slowly, do it methodically, and check it if you're not sure as you're drilling through. So I'll mount this drill bit in my drill, and then we'll get going and drill the holes. So it was easy as that. Just going to check the size now. See how far we're off. Remember to take your locking nut off the back of the switch before you pass it through the hole, otherwise you've got to do it again. So we need to just go a little bit more. There we go, and it's as easy as that. That took, what, less than a minute to do that. Then all we do is we secure that on the back of the switch with the retaining nut, and then it's done. So yeah, very quick, very easy to do. Just makes a bit of a mess, that's all with the plastic, but and just do what I did. I just went in from behind as well, just to deburr the hole, make sure there's no burrs on the back, so that the switch actually sits and locks in place.
Cool.
So all I've done there is the factory tape that they put around the two wires. I've just unwound that back a bit, and I've separated the two wires ready for me to make my connections onto this wire. The easiest way to do this is actually connect the switches before you fully install them in the back panel, and I'll show you doing that next. Type of connector, it's just a Scotch lock type connector, and I'm going to use two of these, one on each wire. I'm going to crimp them on now, and then I'll make my connections on the other wires. There we go, that's the connection made. It's as simple as that. And then I'll repeat this on this wire, and I'll do the same for the other switch as well. Okay, so that's the wires now crimped on with the terminals, ready for me to make the connection on the switch. Well, that's the switch now wired in. Slight change of plan up here. The cheap Chinese Yum connectors, they didn't work. So I've gone to good old, I call these chocolate block connectors. You can see there I've just cut the wire and then joined the two wires, and this is the wire now coming down and going to the new switch. So that's all done. What I'll do is I'll put some electrical tape around that one, just to seal it up so it's nice and watertight from any moisture that goes into the tailgate. So that switch is for the rear window opening. So I'm just going to repeat and do the same on the boot switch, which is this one, and then we'll bring you back and we'll show you the stage of fitting the two switches then through into the back panel. So that's all the connections made now. That's the tailgate. You can actually hear this one. All wired in. Slight change of plan. As I said earlier, I've used connection blocks now instead of those terrible Chinesian spare connector type things I was using. They're rubbish. Don't buy those. All we need to do now is reinstall the back panel. Before we do that, we replace all the clips that are broken, about 6 I think, and then we'll need to thread the wires through the back panel, and then we can mount the switches into the back panel. So we'll bring you back when we're ready to get the back panel back on again. Will have to help me holding that on, so we might not film that bit, but we'll see how it goes. Right, so it's time to replace all the broken clips. They're dead easy to put back in. I'll just use a pair of pliers, locate it in the hole, and until it just clips in place like so. There you go. Dead simple, straightforward. I think we're on 6 so far. To pull the old ones out, pair of pliers and just twist and pull. Pops back out again. There we go, back in. That one's alright, that one's broken. So that's number 7. Now I'm led to believe that the blue ones are the original Citroen Peugeot ones, and I'm led to believe that you are supposed to use the blue ones again, but I have the white ones already pre-bought. And that one's okay, just this one at the bottom. There we go. Oh, I've just spotted one more. You can tell if they're broken because they have like a, I don't know, a tree shape on both sides, and that, as you can see, it's clearly broken. They just get brittle over time with the heat and temperature changes. Just quickly check through all the clips now, make sure all the ones that are actually still left are okay. They all look fine. So that's the clips replaced. So make sure you put the retaining nut on the back side of the panel. Don't do what I did when the first time I did one of these. I'd wired it all up, pushed the wire through, refitted the switch, and then realised I'd left the nut on the back of the momentary switch, which, yeah, wasn't great. Right, I need to put, have you got that, Will? Yeah.
Yeah.
So all I'm doing now is just rewiring the switch back up after I've taken it off to pass it through the plastic back panel. And again, it doesn't matter which way around these go. There's no positive or negative on this circuit. So you can actually put these wires on any terminal on the switch itself, and make sure, if it's the screw type terminals that I've got, that you cinch down the grub screw. I'm just doing that securing nut up so it's finger tight. Just going to give it a quick twist with the pliers. Perfect, so that's the first one done. So now the second one, which is actually the tailgate release. Just taking the switch back off again now. Retaining nut. Pass the cable through the hole and then redo the screw terminals on the switch itself. And then the last one. I know it's working because you can hear it. That's me just pressing the switch. So that's the switch now mounted on the cable into the hole, and then secure the locking ring on the back. Again, just finger tight. I'm just going to nip it up with the pliers. Perfect. So that is both switches now fitted into the tailgate. You can see one there, the tailgate back panel, one there, and the second one there. And what we're going to do now is, between us, me and Will, is get this thing clipped back on again. And this, honestly guys, is the hardest part of this whole process. You see the wiring is very, very simple, very, very straightforward. This is the most difficult part. My tip is to start at the bottom of the panel, get the flooring across the bottom all in, and then work your way around the top. So let's go. You ready, Will?
Yeah.
Need to get this strap through, just 1 sec. Right, I think that's it. So what we're going to do now is shut the tailgate. Okay, we all seem to be clipped back in. I'm just going to jump inside the van now and test both switches. Ready?
Yep.
Yep. So, here we are inside the van. You can see the two buttons. There's one on the left hand side which will operate the rear window, and the one on the right hand side which will operate the main tailgate itself. So the left hand side one, there we go. And remember guys, with the Berlingo and Partner and the later Vauxhall combos, if you've got the window, opening window fitted into your van, if that opening window is not closed properly and secured, you will not be able to operate the tailgate either from outside the vehicle or inside the vehicle with this new button. That back window has to be shut and locked before the other switch will operate. So the switch on the right hand side is the main switch, and there we go. All done. That has taken us about 40 minutes all told, from start to finish. It would have been done a little bit quicker, but I had to change up the connectors because I just wasn't happy with using these Chinesium ones. So I had to redo the first switch, unfortunately. It would have been done much quicker, but it's a very easy and simple job to do. It's really beneficial if you've got a layout like mine where you need to get out of the van, or you want to open the window in the morning from inside the vehicle. Any questions or anything, just drop a comment on Will's video, and Will will let me know, and I can get back to you. Thanks very much. I hope you find that useful, and if you're interested, have a look at the group Micro Kampers and Friends on Facebook and give us a join. Thanks very much. Cheers everybody. Bye bye.